So the next question asks us to determine whether the given function f of x equals x times the absolute value of x is odd, even, or neither. Okay, so what does it mean by a function being odd? So if we have an odd function, that means that f of negative x is also equal to negative f of x. If we were to have an even function, we would have f of negative x equals f of x. And the function is neither odd or even if either of these rules don't hold. Okay, so we're going to calculate the whether or not this function is odd or even. Okay, so we have f of x equals x times the absolute value of x. Okay, so all we really need to do is just plug in f of negative x and see what we get. Okay, so we plug in f of negative x, we get negative x times absolute value of negative x. But we need to note that the absolute value function works like the absolute value of negative x is also equal to the absolute value of x. So because of that, we have f of negative x equal to negative x times absolute value function of x, and that's equal to negative f of x. So therefore, f of x times the absolute value of x is odd, because we can see here that f of negative x is just equal to negative f of x. Okay. So what these means are these relate to, I guess, symmetrical functions. So a good example of a even function is something like a parabola, right? So a parabola is an even function because f of negative x is just f of x, right? A good odd function is something like a cubic function where f of negative x is also just negative f of x. So we just reflect it across the x-axis. So these are good examples of odd or even functions. And yeah, they're symmetrical in their shape. And we now know that x times absolute value of x is also an odd function. So this solution is correct.